Now we have quite interesting discussion, and on this one I have Rume also here with me.
Hi.
All right, we're going to be doing this one together. And we have our guest this morning, quite interesting one. We have Okibe, who is a climate and energy policy specialist, attorney and doctoral researcher currently based in Canada. As a voice for inclusive and sustainable development, she combines academic rigor with grassroots impact, having secured over $400,000 in scholarships and disbursed funds to less privileged children across Nigeria. She's the founder of Aderayah Academy, a tuition-free solar-powered school in Enugu State. Soma, it is great to have you. Good morning. You're welcome to Wake Up Nigeria.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good morning.
Okay, Rume, of course, my name is Mike. Rume is my colleague. She's here with me, and we're going to be having this discussion together.
Yeah.
All right, so Soma, let's talk about you. There is quite a lot you're doing. You're a doctoral researcher. You are also you're also into the legal line, and then also you have a school. Let's talk. How did this all come together? Let's give us a little bit of insight into the story of your life.
Wow. Okay. So my life is, like you said, I'm doing a lot. But I would start with Aderayah Academy, how that came about. Aderayah Academy came about a time in my life when I was applying for job opportunities in Canada. So imagine having 2 master's degree, doing a PhD, and you're still getting rejections upon rejections. I remember having a spreadsheet where I had the number of applications I had submitted, and they were over 500. And majority of them said no. So I started feeling less of myself. And I remember telling God that if I got 1 yes, that I was going to do something that was very audacious in that sense. And it didn't still make sense to me until I had to literally say what I wanted to do. And that was that I was going to build a tuition-free school for children, but in line with what I do, which is, climate change, trying to ensure that there is climate justice in our community. And I decided to make that solar powered as well. So that is, will I put that in a nutshell, how I was able to come about Aderayah Academy. If you're asking me about my journey as a lawyer, is almost like the same thing as every other Nigerian lawyer, going to school, graduating, going to law school, working at a law firm, and then that was how I came to Canada to do my master's. So yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's such an interesting story, and knowing that from that necessity, you have been able to now impact lives. So tell us about the tuition-free school. How many children have you been able to help? And I know it's in Enugu. And of course, we know that in Aba, there's electricity there. So if we're talking about solar, how have you been able to impact those lives?
Great. So for Aderayah Academy, it is still a school that is in progress.
Okay.
However, one of the things that we've done on the side is that we've tried to send children to school, pay for their tuition fee, provide, back to school materials for them through a sister foundation called To Support Young Kids Foundation. This has been ongoing since 2019. So one of the reasons why it looks like, yes, Abia, I'm so proud of Abia State. I'm from Enugu State, by the way. So I know that we are going to get there, but before we get there, before we wait for those steps, we are anchoring and clamoring for solar energy. That's the goal for the school, yes.
Okay, wonderful. Now let's talk about climate change. Now climate change is something that is, as individuals, it's hard. You're thinking about how to get involved in climate change because this is something that would involve a lot of governmental inputs. It's not something that individuals can really carry on their own. I mean, you're talking about the US where someone who many of us know as the most powerful man in the world said that he had moved out of a climate change agreement and says he doesn't even believe in the concept of climate change. Where governments are expected to take the forefront, as it were, the vanguard in this particular fight against climate change, what can individuals independently on their own, what can the private sector, what can the public sector do when it comes to managing climate change, its effects, and of course ensuring that the planet, of course, is better taken care of for all of us?
Thank you. And I'm glad that you mentioned that someone in the United States calls climate change scam. I know you tell from my face that I am trying so hard not to really talk about the president of the United States. But anyways, let's talk about things that individuals can do. So something I started doing recently was to actually expose certain things that individuals do not know that cause climate change or affect the environment. Things like overspraying your perfumes. I remember calling out a certain celebrity. Yes.
Really?
Thank you. Yes.
So what are we supposed to do?
No, like, I'm not saying, that's the thing. I didn't say do not spray.
Yeah.
I said don't overspray. There are people who spray over 12 times. Go on Opeyemi Kwamakin's page on Instagram, and you would see that he was spraying more than 12 times. And I'm like, wait, hold on. This is air pollution. This is what you're doing. It's exposed like VOCs, right? So these are the issues. Little things, even as plastic plates that we use to like eat, put our food and put it in the microwave, they are also affecting the environment.
Wow.
Even the clothes that we wear. You know, there are people that they buy fast fashion. If they don't have, I'm sure, like, as women, let me speak to women. We have tons of outfits. Sometimes we get tired of them and we just toss them in the bin. We don't know what happens when we get to the waste management sector. Do you know what happens? Those outfits that we've dumped, right? They clog certain spaces in our environment, and that causes, what do we call that? Clogging, flooding. So little things, like even when you waste your food, right? So what I started doing on Instagram was to start talking about those things, uncomfortable things. Down to even, I have a video that I'm supposed to put out on Saturday, and that video is about firewood, because people don't understand that using firewood to cook affects our health and affects the environment. So as an individual, little things that we can do, because I just realized that if we keep waiting for the government to do what they're supposed to do, we're not going to go anywhere. So we have to take charge of our environment. We are the ones that will get affected first before the government, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So what are the things that we can do to stop that? And those things are, first of all, we need to understand that whatever you do now can affect the environment, can affect the next generation to come. So yes.
Okay, nice that you're saying that, but speaking on, just to piggyback off that, I remember when we went for COP28, and I think COP31 is around the corner, and a lot of people were saying, oh, it doesn't matter, after all, in Nigeria we don't have so much CO2 emissions and whatnot, so why should we be part of this conversation? Now I know that Lagos State obviously had to ban plastic, so if you even go to like a supermarket, you have to pay. Yes, you have to pay for that. So I know that the government is doing something about it, but why do you really think we need to be a part of this conversation, a part of this change as well?
Because at the end of the day, we are the ones suffering. The top world countries keep sending down things to our country because they know that we don't have the voice. We don't have resources to fight this. So until we start understanding that when you ship things from Canada or US and they are fairly used, you think you're doing yourself a favor because they are affordable, you're not thinking about the effects that it has on our environment. So we should be part of this conversation. I'm a climate change babe, but I still feel that the conversations we have at Co-op is just talk. We need to start.
Wow.
Yes, we need to start having actions. That's the thing. It's just, that's my problem with even policies. How many policies are being implemented?
Thank you so much, Soma. You know, Soma, I love what you're saying. I wish we had more time.
I wish we did.
We really have to go, but I love what you're saying. A few things that we've picked, what we can do ourselves when it comes to how we use the things around us. I love that. You know, I wanted to mention, when did you leave Nigeria to Canada? When was that?
COVID year, 2020.
So do you know, the time you left, did you experience Hamata when you left? There's a problem. There's a problem in Lagos now, especially Lagos. We don't have Hamatan
anymore.
We don't have Hamatan anymore.
I had a conversation with a senior advocate of Nigeria who said in the East, there is also something that looks like it is harmattan, but it's not harmattan. But look at what the EPA has told us. The EPA told us that that is not harmattan. Wear your mask because that is something bad going on in the air. That is climate change.
Thank you so much, Soma.
We definitely need to have more conversations like this. And also something I got from there is Africa should not be the dumping ground for all of these other countries. So yeah.
Thank you, Soma. It's been wonderful. We'll probably still have you some other time, and then we'll talk more about this. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much for having me.
Have a wonderful day.